So I said take some amount of soil and take a glass of water, and now you put the soil in this water and stir it properly. Stir it properly with the help of a spoon or anything and leave it for undisturbed for a couple of minutes. And what do you observe after a few minutes? You will observe that those soil particles gradually arrange in layers. Okay, so you then actually make out the different layers because the type of a particle is different. Maybe some layers the particle are big particles, in some layers the particle are fine particles, and some layers are color is dark brown, some layer is very light brown shade. Okay, so you will be able to distinguish these various layers. So if you focus on the topmost layer, you will also be able to some leaves, some plants remain. And now as I tell you that the composition of soil consists of rock particles and it consists of humus also. And humus is what? It contains leaves and plants. It is nothing but dead remains of plants and animals. So it is quite expected that some sort of plants or some animals might also be present there. Okay, right. Now that's become the topmost layer. So you can even find some tiny pieces of leaves, tiny pieces, parts of stem. So with this you will be convinced with the fact that yes, soil is made up of different particles and different properties with different densities. So some of them are settled down at the bottom, some of them start floating. But whatever the reason may be, you will be able to see the distinct layers of the soil. So this is the very simple illustration which shows you that soil is made up of different particles which have different physical properties and they are distinct in a different layer. So now it is a time we are gonna actually talk about these layers. So all the layers of the soil with different physical and chemical properties, they are together termed as soil horizons. Okay. Soil horizon is the term for all the layers of the soil collectively, and collectivity is called as soil horizons. Now from above we cannot see the below layer of the soil, but what we see is the only the topmost layer of the soil. So the layer of the soil which we are going to discuss in a little while are the horizon O, A, B and C. So these are the four most important soil horizon, and all these lies above the bedrock layer, which is the layer of the rock which is it is often referred as our horizon. R is a stand for rock. Okay, so this is horizon A, then A. You might say that soil consists of these layers, but we see only the topmost layer. So is there any way which we can see all these layers, or how we can practically see the layer? Now if you really want to see it, you can visit a place where there is a construction going on. Okay, or it is in the just initial stage. The foundation is laid on that particular area. When the foundation is laid, they dig the soil deep under the ground. Okay, you are actually able to see these layers there on. So that's one way you can see the these layer. Okay, or if a ditch has been dug recently, there also you can see these layers. Okay, you can also see in the bank of river also. So you see some of the digging at a place, you can actually going below the ground and what do we see there? We see the top, we only see the topmost layer, and we just dig. When we just digging deep under the ground, then we are able to see the different layer of the soil. So the deeper you go, then you are able to see the different layers. So it will be a good option to go the place where the construction is going on. Okay. So let us now learn about each horizon in more detail. So we can start with the topmost layer, that is O horizon. So this is also called the surface horizon. Okay, that is the layer which we see from above, the topmost layer. it has a lot of organic content. So it is very obvious that it contains organic content because it is the topmost layer. So whenever the leaves fall off the trees, whenever there is anything which is any insect died or it fell off on a ground, it all on the it in the contact with the topmost layer. So that's why this soil is known as organic. This contain an organic content. So O horizon at least a minimum of 20% organic matter by mass. So this is the minimum amount of organic matter present that must be present in the topmost layer. Okay, so 20% of the organic content is at least present in this layer. So this layer is again, it is not necessary that everywhere the soil horizon will be contain these kind of organic matter. Now in some places O horizon might be present, in some places, in some other places it might not be present, because this layer is mostly seen in areas where there is high production of leaf litter. When I say that, I mean when there is a more leaf litter, means there is a more trees. So in the forest area, the soil has this horizon, O horizon. Okay, and if you look at the area where there is no leaves, where there is no chances of falling leaf on the ground, so in those regions O horizon might not be present at all. Okay, so this O horizon actually contains organic matter which are at different stages of decomposition, because this organic matter come from the leaf which fell on the ground. This leaf fell down, it died, and it start to decompose, and when the time passes, it decompose inside the soil and form the topmost layer of the soil. So it is maybe in the stage of decomposition, it is maybe the upper stage of decomposition. So that is why it is said that O horizon is present only that area where there is a too much production of leaves, the dead leaves, and in this layer the organic matter is seen to be at different stages of decomposition, because it is not decomposed completely. Okay. Now, due to the presence of organic content, it is generally black or dark brown in color. So, if you have seen that the topmost layer where there is a humus, it is black or dark brown in color. Okay. Now, the next layer is A horizon, just below the O horizon. This is also called mineral horizon, because this is the most important horizon where lots of minerals are present, and these are needed by the plant for their growth. So when you compare it with the underlying horizon, that is the horizon which are present even below A horizon like B or C, the texture of A horizon is like more coarse. So when you compare the underlying horizons, it is also known as topsoil. Why it is called a topsoil? As it is not present on the top, because above this O horizon is present. Because O horizon might be present somewhere and might not be present somewhere. Okay, so in certain areas O horizon might not be present, but this layer is present there. So that's why it is called a topsoil. And it contain mineral like sand, clay, silt. All these things are present in this A horizon. So we are going to discuss about this. Now this is rich in organic matter, organic content. So here also you find organic content. Because as I said, the upper layer will be rich in organic content, because the dead plants and animals remains, they coming in contact with the upper surface and they started decomposing. But the whole horizon level, there is a different stages of decomposition also. When they tend to reach the A horizon, it decomposed or still decomposing, or so there also a lot of organic content. And since because of organic content, it increases the fertility of the soil. Okay, so because minerals, nutrients, everything is present in the this layer that is provided by the topsoil. Okay, so it is also black or brown in color, because of humus again. Now this layer is predominantly the surface layer of many soils, especially in the agricultural land. So in agricultural land, the A horizon is like a topmost layer or the surface layer. Okay, looking at its property, it is soft and porous. You actually feel the texture of soil is in A horizon is soft and porous. Now what is the meaning of porous? That means there is a lot of pores in it, and if you have a lot of pores in the soil, a lot of water can pass through. So when we actually giving water to the plant, we are actually giving water to the soil. Okay. Now this A horizon is extremely important. You know why? Because it is the home for many organisms. In the beginning of the lesson, I told you that soil is act as a home for many organisms. So these organisms, they live in these layer of the soil. They do not live in the deep layer inside the soil. They live in this layer of the soil, that is A horizon. A horizon is the home for the organism. It is also responsible for soil fertility. And how it is provide fertility to the soil? Because A horizon contain humus. And what is humus? You all know, dead and decaying plant and animal. Okay. So due to the presence of this humus, the organic content of the soil increases and the fertility of the soil also increases. Now it provides support to plant roots also. The roots of the plant, they actually firmly get stuck to the soil through this layer. So it also provides a structural support to the plant. It retains more water, as I mentioned. This layer is soft and porous. Now it has pores, so these pores are used to store more water. And what is the benefit of holding? This water is utilized by the plant. And how they utilize the water? Through their root hairs which present in the pores of the soil, and that's how plant can grow and develop. So basically A horizon play a very important role as far as growth of plant is considered. Okay. Next horizon is the B horizon. It is located just below the A horizon. It is minerals subsurface horizon. Now, why is this called mineral subsurface horizon? Okay, now why it is called a mineral subsurface horizon? Now, as I said, A horizon is the mineral horizon because it is rich in minerals which are provided to the plants for their growth. Now, many times it happens that heavy rainfall or due to floods or due to heavy wind, the topmost layer of the soil gets washed away with water or wind. So just imagine a scenario when there is a heavy rainfall with rain, the upper layer of the soil get washed away. In that case, what happens? This B horizon, because A horizon is lost during flood, so B horizon is left on the surface, and so sometimes this B horizon is left over the surface and it becomes the surface. It acts as a surface for some time. That is why it is called subsurface horizon. It is basically not the surface horizon, but sometime if the surface is lost due to soil erosion, then this is exposed and this is called a subsurface soil. That is what it is called. Now it is rich in mineral which contain mineral as well as salts, soluble salts, okay, etc. Now, if we talk about the texture of the soil, it is more compact and hard. Like here in the A horizon, the texture is soft and it has pores, but here it is quite tough and hard. Okay, but as far as mineral content, it is considered as the decent mineral content, and it is typically formed by the transformation of materials which are present inside in the A horizon. So they gradually move down, and that's how B horizon is formed. So if you look at the structure, in this structure. So B is deep as compared to A and O. Okay, and the roots of the plant, they come to this place only. The root hair extend up to A and to some extent up to B, and that is why A and B is rich in minerals. The root hair come to A, just grow to the surface A or to B, not go below the B horizon. Okay. As we going deep, the hardness of the layer got increases. For example, layer A horizon is quite soft and it also has pores. Next was B, which is hard and compact, and now the next C, the C horizon. C horizon is located even below the B horizon, and it is hard, and it is quite hard. When you compared it with D, it is harder than it is harder than B horizon, and it contains small lumps of rocks. Okay, since it is made up of rock, there is also one reason that root cannot grow in this layer. Okay, so if you ever taken off, the roots cannot penetrate into this layer because the rocks are very hard. And if you are ever taking soil in your hand, whenever you actually feel that it is soft, and you can just you can easily press it. Okay, why? Because the soil which you are picking up is like from the topmost layer of the soil. Okay, and when you go deep inside the soil, you start digging the soil, and as it go, when you go, you actually feel the soil is becoming harder. It is becoming difficult to dig in. Okay, when you go deeper. So at this layer, the minimum addition and minimum losses take place, because like as I said, sometimes there is a losses from A horizon because of wind. Now the same thing can also happen with a B horizon, because in certain scenario there is a flood or something, so the B horizon get exposed. So there is a chances of losses of addition of B is still lesser. But when you talk about C horizon, it is quite deep inside, and moreover it is so hard. So the chances of any addition or losses to this horizon is very minimum. And where is the C horizon located? It is just above the bedrock. Okay. So here at this point, we see that this bed of rock, the direct contact between the sea and rock. So here you can see the soil is in direct contact with the rock, or it is direct contact with the soil surface. So if you look at these layers which are more rocky, these rocky layers are very hard and difficult to dig, and that is why, like if you have ever seen in your garden, if you have or you have interested in your garden, or you try in your home, you just take a sharp object, take any sharp object and try to dig. Initially it is easy because the topmost layer is very soft, so it is easy to dig them, and as you go deeper, you need to put more effort in digging. As you are going deeper, it becomes harder. Okay, and so it becomes more difficult to dig. So now we are aware of the structure of soil, and as I have mentioned, the soil is formed by the different types of rock. Now different type of rock give rise to a different type of soil. So let us look at the various types of soil. Now how do we classify the soil? On what basis we are classifying the soil? So if you try to look at the texture of the soil, so if you actually try to feel it, you will see that the presence of particles, some small particles, some big particles, some very tiny stones, all these things you can actually feel. So size of the particle is what that decide a lot of property of the soil. Now soil is important for the growth of plant, that is one important aspect. But again, the different crops need different types of soil. Different crops have different requirements, and these requirements have been fulfilled by the soil. Now there are many different types of soil, because different types of soil have different properties, and these different properties is due to the difference in their size of particles. So proportion of particles of different sizes is the basic thing of the soil, is the basic classification of soil. Now the question is how exactly. Now this is something like soil has a big particle. So what type of soil it is, and if a soil has a small particle, what type of soil it is. So that is not the basis. The basis is how much amount of bigger particle it contain or how much amount of soil is contained. So that is mean by proportion. So with proportion, which soil has a particular kind of particle which form the soil. So the proportion of particles of different sizes decided what type of soil it is. Okay. So as the size of the particle changes, many properties of the soil changes due to the difference in the spaces between the particles. Okay. So how are we classifying soil? Based on which type of soil it is? By seeing the size of the particles. Okay. And some type of soil contain more big particle and less small particle, whereas some kind of a soil contain very few big particle and more proportion of small particles. Okay. So we have classified according to this the soil into 3 types. So let us look at the types of the soil. The 3 type of soil is sandy soil, clay soil and loamy soil. So these are 3 main types of soil. So we have classified these on based on how much big particle and small particle present in it. So if we talk about sandy soil, it contains greater proportion of big particle. Bigger particles are more as compared to smaller particles. Okay. In case of clay soil, they have more fine particles. Fine particles are more in number. So because of this, different in the arrangement of the soil, you can see that there is a huge difference in the properties of soil as well. And the third one is the loamy soil, which have equal proportion of big and small particle. Number of big particle is equal to the number of small particles. So based on these, the soil has been divided into 3 types: sandy, clayey and loamy. Now we are talking about each of these of soil, and we will see how the property is being different because of the size of the particle. So what are the properties of sandy soil? So what could you think of when you hear this term sand? Sand would remind you of desert. Okay. So it's like, so when we are talking about sand, it is well aerated. More number of big particles are present in it. So this soil is not gonna be very powdery. It is something like you can feel the presence of it. You can feel the presence of particles because the particles are big enough. So when you take the sand in your hand, you feel the presence of particles. It is not very powdery, very smooth. So this is the well aerated sound, because air occupy in these particles because of the presence of space in it. Now what do we do with these spaces? These spaces can fill with the air. So that's why it is called well aerated soil. So sufficient amount of air is present in these kinds of soil. That is in sandy soil. Do not retain water. They are not very good at holding water. You know why? That because in this case the particle size are very big, so therefore these particles do not fit close to each other, and there is a lot of spaces. Since there is a lot of spaces in it, whenever you put water on these kind of soil, what happens? The water will quickly pass down through these spaces. So basically water will drain down through this type of soil. So soil will not be able to hold the water because the spaces between the particles are very big. So water quickly drain through these spaces through the sand particles, and therefore since it does not hold water, so it does not remain wet. Okay. Even if you put water on the sand, it will quickly drain. It go very deep, because we already see that when you put water, it very quickly go deeper in a different layer of the soil. Okay. And the third is the soil is light in weight. There is no additional thing present in it. Now properties of clay soil, which is just reverse of sandy soil. So in this case, little air is present in it. Now here, as I have mentioned before, that this kind of soil is made up of very tiny particles. So fine particles are present in this type of soil. As a result, if you look at it, in this case, the spaces in between these particles are very small. So you see there is a very tiny spaces in between the particles. So in this tiny spaces only limited amount of air can be present. So therefore it holds quite less air as compared to the sandy soil. Also in this case the particles are packed very tightly together with little space in it. So that is why it is also denseless soil, densiest soil, and also heaviest soil. It can hold so much of water because due to its high density. It is very difficult for water droplets to penetrate. They do not drain through the clay soil like in the sandy soil. In sandy soil the gaps are quite big. So water would easily flow through the gaps. So water could drain very quickly. But in this case it is not. The gaps are very tiny. So if water enter in that gap, like suppose enter through the gap of the particles in the clay soil, it gets stuck. It cannot move beyond it. So that is why in each and every gap there is something water which stuck, logged. Okay, so that's how we can say that this soil retains a lot of water. So within this soil you can actually see a lot of water container. It also become heavy because of because of the weight of the soil and also weight of particles. So that's way it is the densest as well as the heaviest soil. Rest about the third type of soil, that is loamy, I will discuss in the next video. Okay, thank you class.